Welcome back, people, to the Warlord of SBAS plays now. Torment ties in Numenera. Episode 2 this time. Last time we fell through the sky, touched a bunch of glowing orbs, and went through a mirror. How fun was that? This time we're going to continue where we left off with talking with the Specter. Everything about the spectral figure seems dreamlike. He is a hazy silhouette who seems to be made of blue glass smoke. He wears stylish, well-cut clothes. His handsome, bearded face seems hauntingly familiar, though you've never seen him before. He breathes a sigh of relief when he sees you. We weren't sure that would work. We pulled our strength and channeled it through me to reach you, to wake you up. He glances at the other figures here and frowns unhappily. It took more out of them than we thought. The other reflections, they're more like shadows now. Look, I'll bet you've got a lot of questions. Well, whole place is basically your mind. Your body is still out there in the real world, healing from the fall. You need to get out there and finish the process. He shrugs. Shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, because coming back from death is always easy. Yeah. Before I met you, I felt something was hunting me. Do you know what it was? He closes his eyes. That's memory. I don't want to recall. That's a memory I don't want to recall. Large black fury is... It's our death. It's the sorrow. He closes his eyes. I hope it's lost interest in you. If it finds us, we're done for. Who are these other people? You call them reflections? That's what they are. As I said, it's your mind. You'll find reflections of people you knew. People you might met in the real world and with whom you shared some kind of psychic connection. I don't know how or why. It just happens. If this place is in my mind, why don't I remember any of this? Any of you? It's your mind. A construct built it to, I don't know, share thoughts, store your true self. Wait, you know how people say, in the first place? This is definitely the first place of your memory. Well, it was the first place for me anyway. You'd probably know better since it's yours. If you don't remember now, maybe it'll come to you later. Who are you? Always a good question to ask. He paused and looks down at himself, considering a long time before answering. I'm you. I'm part of your mind. A splinter. I was waiting here for you. He called you with the memories of the others who are here. I don't know what happened next. How do you know all this? That you're telling me? He throws up his hands in frustration. I'm just part of you. Look. I look at you and I know. This place was made for you, for us, and I remember a piece of knowledge that came to me when you asked your questions. Well, that's all. Alright. You said you had to finish the process? What do you mean by that? After you wake up from the dream state and attune to the tides, you'll need to find something called a resonance chamber. Your body should have landed somewhere near it. Just climb inside that and everything will be fine. What do you mean attune to the tides? Tides are like a force. The force? Like gravity or magnetism or something, except they respond to people's actions or perceptions. Your body, that is, your body in the real world, needs the tides to survive. It's not something you need to worry about. Your body will attune to it as it wakes up. What's the resonance chamber? I remember pieces about it, but not the whole. It's a crystal sarcophagus. I remember it having 5 mechanical arms around it and a metal ring. In the floor, I think we were aiming for it when we fell. When you open your eyes in the real world, it should be nearby. Alright, so how do I get back in the real world? There's a portal down there. It'll make you back. It'll take you back to your body. Just step through it, and the whole Taj thing should take care of itself. He crosses his arms. When you wake up, find the resonance chamber and activate it. Then we can. Wait. What in the hell is that? Oh, that looks all Cthulhu-esque. It's the Sorrow. The Sorrow. It's anchored to those reflections. It's devouring their power. We have to get rid of them. Destroy its anchors, or else the Sorrow will erase us forever. Kill the reflection anchor. Alright. Alright. So turn-based action in fighting. Reflection near you. Kill it. I missed it. Alright. Eat it with my fist, I guess. Sure, let's go for a 100% chance. Take that. What in the hell? What in the... I'm going to get to the next one. Alright. Basically, it just released, like, something into my mind. Which is not good. Sorrow fragment. Alright, hit this one. Alright, if you apply yourself, it does more. So remember, kids, to apply yourself and you'll do more damage. What is it doing now? It's infecting it somehow. It's temporary conditions and stuff. Boosting and all that. So I'm assuming I have to hit him harder. Boosted its armor, that's why. Yes, the reflection is protected somehow. You need to find a way to hit it even harder. Grab the piece of mirror glass and might have enough to residual energy to kill the reflection. Alright. Yay! Improvised weapons. Alright. Activate. And knife him. Actually, it was her apparently, according to the screen. You pried it loose. The thing is a cancer, an infection. It's unstoppable. Unstoppable. But you stopped it. He holds his head in his hands. I can't believe it found us in here. He looks at you and terror in his eyes. The sorrow, it's been haunting you. It's what killed you in the first place. It'll keep hunting you until you activate. Until you activate the resonance chamber. I didn't remember it until I saw it. But that's why the chamber is so important. You have to get back and activate the chamber before it's too late. The portal to your body is in the shimmering dome there. Go now. Alright. Touch glowy orbs. I like touching glowy orbs.
Where did he fall from? His body smashed to talc. It's a wonder he's still breathing.
All I saw was the corona, not his origin point. But look, he's healing already. Spontaneous regeneration.
Will you look at? Oh. Always too slow for that. Ah, you fell. Alright, here comes the first fantasy name that's always fun. Alagurn. Alagurn. We call you Alagurn because, well, fuck it. Oh, what was that? What did you do? Callista? Callista? That chick. Callista. I'm gonna call you Callista because that's easy. If you find out that I'm doing it, saying these names wrong, well, get used to it, really. But if you want to tell me how to say them right, go for it. Always fun. His tone has become accusatory and suspicious. You open your eyes. First thing you notice is the man's kaleidoscope of tattoos, rattling across his forearms. He wears a long dark coat bolted at the waist. Supplies filling his pockets. His boots are worn and stained with years of travel. You blame me? He emitted an internal physiological reaction in response to the fall, probably related to his fantastic healing process. Obviously, Alagurn. Her voice rolls and hisses, and you have to rub your eyes to be sure that you're not seeing a double. Faint echoes of her actions trio from her, each nearly mimicking her, though some act and react to stimuli that you can't perceive. Her vivid hair and outrageous clothing remains constant, though, through these shadows. Oh yes, it's obvious, Callista. Excuse me. Oh yes, it's obvious, Callista. His voice is grim and clipped. When you see I don't know. Yeah, I know this character, so I'm going to give him a little different voice that I think more appropriate to what I know about him. Oh yes, it's obvious, Callista. His voice is grim and clipped when he sees you looking at him. You're not an ordinary mortal. We know that much. Start talking. His voice is hard and set. These are what I'm talking about with that skill. This is his surface thoughts about him. He's the changing god, Callista. Is deliberately blinding herself, but why? Yeah. Alright. They always act interesting. Okay, I'm no ordinary mortal. What do you mean? You really don't know. He cocks his head to the side. I'm starting to think you're not him. Starting to think, Alagorn? Tell me, is it a novel experience? Alagorn's being more paranoid than usual. How long must I put up with him? Hopefully not too much longer. And his face, I've never seen any other people rebuild themselves like that. Oh, it's his face, sorry. Only the changing god could have healed so quickly. He sighs and rubs his face, trying to regain his composure. Maybe you could help me for a change. You know what that means to me? You're familiar with the word changing, Alagorn. It implies inconsistency. Thus, the changing god must well have changed. Several versions of her shrugging as she addresses you. You'll have to forgive him. He believes you're somehow someone who once knew he once knew, even though it's painfully obvious to anyone that you're newly born. Her most solid self curtsies while others bow or spin. I and my sisters am Callista. This is Alagurn. We are explorers, knowledge seekers, and that's how we come to be in this room. If I'm not mistaken, you are what we call a cast-off. The changing god created you created you, body and mind. Your sire used your body for a time, then abandoned it for reasons of his own. Then his mind departed for a new experience. You were born in the cast-off shell. So I'm a cast-off of a god. Ain't that fun? Let's see. Alright. Where are we? What is this place? A sanctum of your sires. The common belief is he has several such places throughout the ninth world. Possibly other worlds as well. We're only just able to gain an entry to this one because of your grand entrance. In other words, I fell through the roof. Who's the changing god? It's not. That's something coming from you. She gives him a sidelong glance. Excuse me. She gives him a sidelong glance. The changing god is your sire, dear. He discovered a path to immortality long ago. I mean, a means to transfer himself to a new body of his own creation. I don't think he knew, however, that when he abandoned one body, another mind was birthed to fill the void. Oh, he knew, all right. His eyes, he eyes you up and down coldly. The only thing that changing God cares about is himself. He doesn't give a single thought for those who he leaves behind. He sees you as experiments, not humans. Are there other cast-offs? Dozens, hundreds, who can say? Your sire has been doing this for several centuries. Maybe I'll take a little drink of water. Yeah. This could be hard on your voice. Although, if all of them were born the way you claim to have been, it's a wonder any of them survive. God, he's waiting. I'm just saying. Alright, so you say I was born when the changing god left? Well, why am I not dead? I used a cipher to slow your fall further, but the damage still would have killed an ordinary person. But think about it. If you're the kind of person who can make your body into anything you want, what do you do? If you've constructed bodies for centuries, you want to make each one better than the last. You want to live forever. You're not going to let your life end by accident. No, you're going to make stronger bodies, fast, powerful. Maybe throw in regeneration while you're at it. I guess, yeah, I would do that if I had that power. The changing god has always been vain. He rarely stays logged in a shell that doesn't suit his self-image. She looks you up and down, her smile suddenly unnerving. Perhaps the changing god fled because he didn't want to wear those scars of yours. If the changing god abandoned my body, where is he now? If he abandoned your body, then his consciousness fled to another. He eyes you keenly. Oh, do stop. She looks the look she gives Alagorn. I want to call him Alagorn so bad. Alagorn is equally piercing, amplified by the withering glares of her sisters. If there's one thing we know about the changing god, dear, is that he always has a contingency. The child was born here. The object of your obsession will have been reborn somewhere else. How can you be sure this body is a cast-off? You mean, aside from your miraculous reformation, for one thing, there's your tattoo. All cast-offs have one, though its purpose is beyond me. And then, of course, there's your delicious naivety. He could be faking it. You don't live hundreds of years without learning to lie convincingly. Oh, she sighs in exasperation when she sees it. Then she says to you, "What do you think? Are you a newborn child, or are you a powerful immortal whom death has robbed of his memories?" Elgorn crosses his arms and growls, "Fine. What do you think? This should be interesting." Maybe I am the changing god, you don't know. I survived the fall and have skills and powers I don't recall learning. What if I am the changing god? Civil died. Whatever that means. I knew it! He looks at Calista, triumph lighting his face. I knew it! She shakes her head scornfully. He said, what if, Elgorn? Honestly, would one who has lived so cautiously for so many years casually admit his identity to people like us? Maybe. You don't know. You don't know me, woman. Well, see, if you're the changing god, you'll have to lot to answer for to a lot of people. His voice is grim, and then he looks steadily at her. Not the way I've made his voice. Basically, he whines all the time. Like, all the time. And then he looks steadily at her. Resentment appears in every line of his frame. He crosses his arms and sighs. What was the blast of energy when I woke up? As I was telling my colleague, it was obviously a physiological reaction to some kind of... I've never witnessed the birth of a cast-off, but yes, it would be very well have been caused by your... Nascent? Is that supposed to be recent? I don't know. Unless that's a word I don't know. Possible. By your nascent consciousness? Don't worry, I don't believe it. Oops, sorry. I forgot to give her the female voice. Don't worry, I don't believe it caused any real harm. Not to me, at least. Really? You've been more abrasive than ever since we came in here. He shoots her a sidelong look. She just can't empathize with other people unless she's experimenting on them. Do you know anything about the tides? I've heard the term before, a subject your sire studied in great depth. I'm afraid it isn't my field of inquiry. Well, that's something else. Of course, child. You must be disoriented. Sure, let's tell him all my secrets. Before I awoke, I was in some kind of dreamlike labyrinth with a glowing specter. With how hard you hit the ground, I'm surprised that that's all you saw. You're just all kinds of useless. Why do you seem to hate the changing god so much? His face is calm, but his voice is bitter and tired. You should know, shouldn't you? You've ruined lives, committed crimes, and now it seems like you've forgotten the harms you've engineered. You left a trail of the dead and dying behind you. She and her echo share an expression which is equally parts amused and appalled. He's not the chaining god, Alagorn. If falling from the sky didn't kill me, is there anything that can? An excellent question. Having seen your regenerative abilities in action, I suspect that you are primarily a physical primarily physical. A regrowth, if that's the case, you'd be unable to survive most varieties of psychic or molecular decomposition, disintegration, configuration, and so forth. Degenerative diseases could pose a problem. Could pose a problem, and I know of several entities capable of psychic destruction. As she speaks, a vision flashes into your mind. It's not yours exactly. Somehow you know that it is a memory of the chained gods. You were in the dark room, it lit by a myriad of blinking lights and holograms from the many machines surrounding you. What about a body that can withstand Sorrow's attacks? Says a voice that seems to be coming from one of the machines. No, you reply. The thing has no respect for barriers of any kind. Physical, temporal, psychic. This is the only way. With a series of gestures, you bring up an image of a crystalline pod. If the resonance chamber works, it will give us the power to stop the Sorrow's hunt once and for all. We just need the right focal point, a catalyst. The memory fades, and Calista is still talking to you. You realize that the device you saw in the memory is identical to the one behind you now. It looks just like the Specter was described it. A transparent sarcophagus. Transparent sarcophagus inside a crystalline dome, with a mechanical arms right around it, on a metal ring. Unfortunately, the dome is shattered and the sarcophagus is cracked, and one of the arms is in pieces on the floor. Whatever its function, it clearly needs repair. Or flesh-eating viruses, one presumes disfigurement. One assumes disfigurement by the Iron Wind would likewise be devastating enough to. I think he gets the point, Callista. Alright, well, we're going to end this episode here. And we're going to continue talking with Callista and Alagorn next episode. Until next time, remember to embrace the chaos or you'll go mad. Bye.